Have you ever had a recruiter tell you that you have been shortlisted? And then did you proceed to wonder, well, what does that even mean? And then them provide no explanation, right? Well, I'm a recruiter. I've been in recruitment for 14 years. In today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly what that means, what it doesn't mean, and then what you need to do, finally, to make sure you're taking advantage of that status. Let's go. Now I want to start with why this is even being asked. You know, people have asked me, Ben, what does it mean when people say I've been shortlisted? And the reason this happens is recruiters actually tell a lot of applicants they've been shortlisted without explaining what it means. They let them know, hey, good news, you've been shortlisted. Okay, I'll talk to you later. And you're there wondering like, okay, cool, but what does that even mean? Why don't you tell me what that means? What does that mean in terms of next steps, etc. So in today's video, I'll tell you exactly what it means. Okay, now first, when does this happen? Well, this can happen in two different times. One, it can happen if you've applied for a role, a recruiter reaches out to you and says, hey, hold on, you've been shortlisted, we're gonna get back to you soon, right? So what that means is maybe they haven't started interviewing, but they like what you bring to the table as a candidate and they'll get back in touch with you. Okay, great. The second time this happens is you've actually interviewed, and this could be 1 or 2 interviews. And they're saying to you, hey, you've been shortlisted for next steps, we're gonna get back with you. And that is the other time it happens. What this basically means is there is interest in moving you forward. At whatever stage you were in, you were made it to the short list, a short list of priority candidates who they have interest in moving on with. But if that's all you came here for, don't click out of this video because I'm going to tell you what you need to do to maximize this situation next. Now, before I go there, do me a favor real quick. If you are finding value in this video, please hit that like button. It tells YouTube that I don't suck and it motivates me to make more videos. And if you like this kind of information, hit subscribe. Let's make this thing real. Now, let's real quick talk about what this means and what it doesn't mean. It does mean they have interest in you, okay, and they're interested in moving forward, but it does not mean you are not a candidate. It is not a thing people tell candidates to blow them off, like, oh, you're shortlisted, okay. Like, it is not that, but it is also not you have an offer coming. You are still in the game, you are a priority, but you need to keep your head in the game. That's the first thing. Now, here's a realization. If they tell you you're being shortlisted, guess what? The remaining candidates who you're going to be competing with for a job offer have also been shortlisted. That's the list. It's a short list. You, your competition, your competition. So what does that mean? Well, it means you need to bring your A game. Candidates who get shortlisted are great candidates. They are qualified. They are people who would be a good fit for the organization and whatever they value, right? Because different organizations are going to value different things. You are being shortlisted, but everyone you will be competing with from here on out, well, they're going to be great candidates, so you're going to need to bring your A game. That means preparing, coming to the interview ready to speak on why you're a great fit, etc., etc., etc. Now, one of the things that most candidates don't do is they go, oh, okay, thank you, goodbye, and then they hang up the phone, and they go, well, what does that mean? I have no idea, and then just sit there wondering, and then they go, okay, well, let me YouTube, what does it mean when I've been shortlisted? They find this video, here we are, full circle. But what you actually should do is you should actually say, okay, great, well, thank you for that information. Can you give me an idea of what I can expect from a timeline perspective? Ask that question. That question is going to give you so much clarity because it's going to let them know that you're interested in moving forward, and they should be able to do one of two things. Either tell you, okay, here's what's next and when you can expect it, or they'll go, you know what, I'm not sure, we're still talking with the candidate, with the hiring manager, we're trying to figure out scheduling, etc., etc., etc. But it should give you an idea of what you can expect, where they're at in the process. Do they have their ducks in a row, or are they trying to find their ducks and place all their ducks in a row? Which does happen in nature, but that's where they're at, so it's important to do that. Now, when you're shortlisted, it does mean you have a pretty good chance of getting that job. But do you even want that job? What if you're interviewing for this place, but it turns out they have a terrible company culture? That would be an unmitigated disaster, which is why I made this video. This video here is 5 great questions to ask in your interview to tell, do they have a good company culture or do they have a terrible company culture? Trust me, you want to know that information, so here are some great questions to ask in your interview. You're going to ask questions at the end of your interview. Why not make them great ones? All right, I'm done here, but I'll see you over there.